Hi, Revi back here again to talk today about the new episode of Black Clover, number 84, The Victors. So we finally get to see the conclusion of this contest or this championship that's been going on to see, who can be Magic Knights. And granted, he said the Wizard King said from the beginning that not necessarily if you won did that mean that you were going to be picked, and if you lost it didn't mean that you wouldn't be picked. So then in the end he says like 10 20 knights will be chosen, which is pretty cool. I think we all know who at least a couple of those are going to be, but we'll see. So really when I was thinking about it, it did seem pretty fitting that it was Rill versus Yuno in the final round. I mean, yeah, they had partners, but they weren't really a big deal because of just how naturally talented they both were. And that they've both always been so good at what they did. So I mean, it really was a good clash of powers, I thought. So I thought that was pretty cool. At first I was kind of bummed that Asta wasn't going to be in it, but it does make sense. I mean, at least for right now, Yuno is stronger and, more powerful than Asta. He would probably beat him, I'm assuming, in a fight. And if not, maybe the fact that they're lifelong friends would have something to do with it. Maybe he'd get a little soft on him, whatever. I mean, that's for a later episode, I'm sure. But I just thought it was really cool how, when the two started, they had their greeting with magic where, neither of them were trying and everybody was, all super impressed. Oh my god, they're not even trying. It's yeah, these guys are on a whole other level than you. So, yeah, calm down. But, yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. But, and then another thing that I thought about that I liked about this anime is that, it's not always the main character that's always winning, which I thought is really interesting, and I kind of like that because even when you have your main character, they're going to lose sometimes. They can't win all the time, which sometimes gets really annoying when TV shows, animes, movies, whatever do that, because in real life that doesn't always happen. That's one thing to My Hero Academia I always liked, when they had their championship, whatever it was, going down. I mean, yeah, Deku lost, which seemed to make sense to me at the time. I mean, until I really thought about it, because that just doesn't usually seem to happen, when it's a main character. But they're kids and they're still learning, and so I mean, yeah, you're not always gonna have the main character win. And yes, Yuno is kind of a main character. He's a second main character, but really the show is about Asa. And so I just thought that was really cool that even though it sucks that Asa didn't win technically, that they had somebody else in there that wasn't necessarily a main character. Moving on anyway. So Rill's picture magic, that's so is it just kind of he can just draw whatever, and then whatever he draws just kind of becomes magic and kind of becomes a reality, more or less? I don't know, but that's pretty cool. So that's kind of interesting that he can basically draw whatever he wants and almost counter just about anything as long as he can think on his feet. But Yuno's magic control, I thought that was really cool. And again, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Naruto with the chakra and how he's able to control his mana output and then be able to manifest that in a way that he chooses, and that he could absorb that spirit's power and then use her with himself, which I thought that was pretty cool. And I mean, yeah, so I don't know, I just really like that. And then just kind of ended off here. So when Zora's dad said before that he had, met someone on the battlefield that he thought was really cool and really interesting and was such a, noble kind of person, whatever it was that he said, I always kind of thought that it was the Wizard King. And so it was really cool that in the end, the Wizard King ends up talking to him on his own and talking all these good things about his dad. And I'm sure that although Zora is a big tough guy, I'm sure he really appreciated it. And he's going to come back. He's going to come back. I mean, there's no way. This was his dream as a child. And that deep down, even though, like I said, he's playing the tough guy, he wants to take in his father's footsteps. And he wants to, at the very least, avenge his father. And what better way to do that than to join the Magic Knights? And the Wizard King already said that he knew that he was lying about being Xerxes or Xerxes, whatever the heck his name was. I mean, it doesn't matter. But so he knows who he really is, and that he still accepted him. But yeah, and then I just was noticing that the next episode is, of course, the ubiquitous Japanese anime bath episode, which they just had one fairly recently where they went to hot springs. Seems like most animes have to have some sort of bath episode or hot springs episode, which, whatever, so it's a filler. If I feel like making a video, I'll go ahead and drop maybe a quick one, but otherwise, for the most part, since it's going to be a filler, I might not. I mean, I'll watch it, and then I'll just kind of make a judgment there, depending on what I see, so... Anyways, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, RevyCatX. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment if you like what you see, or if you like the anime that I'm watching, if you saw the episode, what you like, don't like, I mean, whatever. I read them all, so, oh crap, I forgot. I'd forgotten what I was going to say. I was going to forget my sign off. Or don't, because I am not the victor.